I don't know if my stories are completely saying why I want to go to law school. And the truth is exactly what I put in the statement. I do like to help people, and I'd like to help people in, I guess, just in the legal field is really what it is. I work as a paralegal, and I don't like when people have problems, but I enjoy solving them for them. So that really is the reason why I want to go. And I try to break it down with the whole problem solving in each position and try to bring it full circle. Did you agree with that approach? Did you like how I wrote that? Or do you think I should change that up a little bit?
I liked it. I liked that you started with a very specific anecdote and then you zoomed out from there. You started with the business law class in particular being sad that class was finishing up. You wanted to continue. So I guess the one thing I would ask is, what were they covering that you wanted to continue that you didn't want it to end? So I think a little more detail on that would have helped it come to life more. But otherwise, I liked that approach overall, though.
Okay, it's interesting because what I learned was basically problem solving. It was contracts, but it was discussing how a contract can help somebody in a difficult situation, like how to apply certain laws in that contract to know if somebody is breaking it or in breach or whatever the case may be. So it was, to me at least, tied into problem solving. So I think that's why I was so interested in it. So I'll definitely take that feedback and try to include that in there.
That's awesome. I love that. And the next thing that would be even cooler is if there were a way to tie in what you were learning about breach of contract in class to the startup fashion business. Is there an area in the startup fashion business where something along those lines happened that was loosely related? It doesn't have to be. But if there were an example like that, that would be a really cool parallel to show you and to show them how what you learned in the class actually came to life.
Well, I actually took that job before I took that class. So I'd have to go back and think and see how, because it was such a long time ago, honestly. It was like 6 years ago, but it was an important part of my life. That's why I included it. But I see what you're saying, and that would be cool. I'm going to try to think really hard because it was, like I said, a long time ago, how I can tie that in. But yeah, I definitely like that recommendation. Thank you.
Of course. And it could work in the reverse too. It could be that you saw something like that play out in the business, and then you saw the theory behind that in class. It could go in both directions. Okay. And it doesn't even have to be that it actually occurred. It could be hypothetical just to illustrate the importance. So you could say, this issue is important in the startup fashion business because if X, Y, Z doesn't happen, then there's big problems and people make agreements, but then the real world reveals itself and problems occur. And so that's why we have these contracts to address these things, but also contingencies if they don't. Thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already to be notified of new episodes as I release them. And feel free to reach out if you need anything at all as you move forward with your prep. I'm happy to help however I can. In the meantime, I wish you all the best and take care.